Coming back to that word you used, imposter syndrome,
Yep.
as entrepreneurs or as business people, this is something that we don't realize, but it's so common. What do you think made you overcome that?
Coaching, if I'm being honest. I'm very big on having a business coach
Yes.
and a coach in the industry as well. So I've got two.
Okay.
Just from a confidence point of view to bounce ideas off. If I'm ever feeling like I'm missing something, if there's something in my stomach that says it's not adding up, I'll go to my coach and we'll sit down and we'll go through it in detail. And very happily he said to me, if when I outgrow him, he'll find me another coach at the next level. So
That's
very
the quality of a good coach.
yeah, it really is.
Yeah,
And
100%.
I gave him a massive hug that day too. I said, you are the most incredible human being.
Yeah, 100%. Look, I'm big on coaches as well.
Yep.
Look, I believe athletes, they have coaches.
Yes.
They don't run alone.
Correct.
They don't play alone. Everybody has coaches. Your race cars, that one's going on. Everybody's coaches.
Yep.
So
I
why
think
not
you're a
bring them?
student for your whole life.
Forever. If
you know?
you're ever, I think my favourite saying is, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
You're in the wrong room.
Yes.
That's one of my favourite sayings, and it's
Definitely.
so true.
Yeah.
You always need a guidance. You always need that accountability from someone, and then someone to just hold your hand and say, "You're going to be all
You're going
right."
to be okay. That's exactly what it is. And there's moments where I've reached out and I've said to him, "Just tell me we're on the right path." And he said, "You're on the right path." That's all I needed to hear. So that overcome that imposter syndrome at the very beginning. But I appreciate, especially when you're early in your career, you've got so much you want to portray to people to prove that I'm the person for you, and this is why, that you forget to be that active listener. And you can tell it in conversations. You said they speak over you. You can also tell by the look on their face.
Yeah.
You'll be mid-conversation. You can see the cogs are ticking in their head, thinking about what they're going to speak about.
Yeah.
They're taking nothing in of what you're saying to them.
No.
That active listening is one thing that we miss as a society, in my opinion. I'd love to see that change too.
I think that empathy is missing
Yeah.
now. People are more that outer way of, "Oh, I'm so sorry for you, love."
Yes.
But that real empathy does not need awe. Your face will say it all.
I agree.
That you are empathetic towards me. But that, I think for me, it ticks me when somebody says, "Oh," and I'm just like, no.
I saw that video the other day. Like, bro.
If your teacher tells you off, you respect what they've told you off for because there's a reason for it and they're
Yes.
trying to educate you.
And the parents should stand by the teacher.
Yeah.
That's what our parents
That's where
did.
we're missing it, our parents.
Yes.
I believe it's the parents.
Yes.
And I'm happy to own that, and people are not going to be happy, and that's okay.
Yes.
That's fine.
But I think as parents, we are failing to bring our children up to respect authority.
Absolutely, absolutely. Not only that, I think it's just generally we're just failing to respect. We're failing to respect each other in the society.
I agree.
We're just too aloof in doing our own thing, looking our own ways, and now everybody thinks they're superior to the other person. Tell me, how do you think we can help people? In our own ways, in our own little ways.
And it's really hard. So probably start with your inner circle.
Yes.
Because I think if there's trust with your inner circle, that people can actually open up. And that's the biggest thing. No one wants to open up through fear of, maybe that fear of failure, through fear of weakness, showing weakness in a society where we're only showing a best version of ourselves.
Yeah.
Think if people start in an inner circle and you start to make movement there. I've had 2 people reach out to me since the funeral and my post. And it's just my very small network. I don't have a huge following, but those who follow me there's a strong connection.
Yeah.
2 of them have reached out. I'm having coffee with both of them. Both have said to me that they are really struggling. And for 2 stereotypically masculine men in a workplace on the waterfront, so they worked on the docks, where it's a masculine workplace.
Yes.
So you can't show weakness, you can't show a raw nerve.
It's tough for them. It's
Really
tougher
tough.
for them, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
really
more
tough.
Because for them, for everybody, as you said, they're masculine people,
Yep.
working hard jobs. It's hard for them to open up.
I was a little different on the wharf, and that was known that I was a little bit different. I was
Yeah.
not your stereotypical wharfing.
Yeah.
I would cry at the drop of a hat at a movie and that sort of stuff, and I'm happy to own that too.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be vulnerable and raw, and what I'm hoping for me personally is that these 2, we're going to catch up a coffee and we're going to laugh, we're going to tell stories and work out how we can find the best path for them forward,
Yeah.
then they might be able to tell some of their friends if they're struggling. So, hey.